Derby County have been linked to the move with Josh Mulligan from Dundee FC over in Scotland, and it's been done in a very weird fashion. This move has come about regarding a podcast episode of Around the Funnel. Now, this isn't the normal way that you find out Derby County transfer news. It isn't the normal way you find out any sort of transfer news, and with Derby County not sort of having any sort of real article or report about it, all we have to go on is the words that were said in the Around the Funnel podcast towards the back end of that episode, which I will link down below in the description if you want to go and check that out. It's around the last 5 or so minutes of that episode, and it's going to be very interesting to see if this deal does happen. I am led to believe that his contract will have expired by the time you watch this video. I believe it ends on the 31st of May, and you'll be seeing this on the 1st of June. But Josh Mulligan is 22 years old, Scottish, considered a right midfielder, but is very, very versatile. Has played for Scotland's under-21s 10 times, scoring just 1 goal. He's valued at €600,000, and Derby County are not the only club interested. Shall we get into it? Do you want to win yourself the brand new Derby County 2025-26 home shirt? Well, I'm here to give you an opportunity to do that. There will be a link down in the description where you can head on over to raffle.com to join a raffle where you can win the Derby County home shirt. Ticket prices start at just £1 with a range of different discounts available. You can buy 2 tickets, get 2 free, 5 tickets, get 5 free, 10 tickets, get 10 free, and 15 tickets to get 15 free. The intention with this is to give you guys the opportunity to win a Derby County shirt for less than the valued cost in the shop. So if you haven't done so already, head on down to the description, click on the link in the description, which will take you over to raffle.com, create yourself an account, answer the question, and join this raffle. The winner will be announced on August 1st at 6 p.m. as the transfer window begins to draw to a close. So if you haven't done so already, head on over there and get your tickets. Now, obviously, when we look at Josh Mulligan, we've got to look at his 2024-25 campaign, where he played 41 times for Dundee, collecting 5 assists, playing 3,020 minutes. But a lot of you will be thinking, at 22 years old, surely he's just playing one position. Surely he's got sort of a mainstay where he stays across the course of his campaign with Dundee. But ultimately, that would be incorrect. Across the course of this season, he's made 17 appearances at right midfield, 13 appearances in central midfield. He's also played as a number 10, as a number 6, as well as playing in the right back position. Now, he's been at Dundee for a long time. He's made 122 appearances for them, 6 goals, 10 assists, but he's also spent time at Peterhead, where he played 24 games, 3 goals and 2 assists. He spent time at Cove Rangers as well, where he made 8 appearances with just 1 assist. Now, there is a lot of talk and a lot of rumours around Josh Mulligan at the moment in regards to some other clubs, not just Scottish clubs, but also clubs over in England. There is reports suggesting from EFL Analysis that he has held talks with West Bromwich Albion already this summer over a potential move. There is also reported heavy interest from Rangers and Hearts over in Scotland already, which obviously would be sort of a potential preference for him maybe, as 22 years old, can sort of stay where he's been brought up sort of vibes. And for me, wherever he ends up, I think he's going to end up having a decent career. I think it's one of those players, though, who is sort of looking at his career so far, gone, I've had a really good start to my career at Dundee. I'm not entirely sure where Dundee finished in the league. They may have actually got relegated this year, but he's had sort of a good start to his career. He's been very, very important for them. He's played so much football, and that's obviously really good at 22 years old. Like, if we look at his history, it's 155 appearances, 9 goals, 13 assists across the course of 6 years, since 18-19, when he was first sort of within the squad. He made his debut in 2019-20 for Dundee, and then obviously went on a couple of loan spells. But it's one of those for me where it's sort of in that position. It's probably a similar position to that of Craig Forsyth before he moved to Watford, and Craig Bryson before he came over to England as well, where you're sort of in that position of, I could stay over here and become a really good player in Scotland, or I could go and try the water in the Championship, potentially get a move to the Premier League. And that would obviously be sort of like the aim for any player coming over from Scotland, from Wales, from Ireland, anything like that. That is always sort of the aim, and we've seen it happen a lot. And Derby County have had some really good Scottish players over recent years. You look at, obviously, Fozzie, you look at Chris Martin was considered Scottish in the end. Craig Bryson, obviously a brilliant Scotsman who Derby County had as well. So it's one of those for me where I think there's a lot of quality over there in Scotland that could certainly add to this club. And do I think that Josh Mulligan is the right man for Derby County? I think when you sort of look at what Derby County already have, is he going to come in as a right winger? Is he going to come in as a right back? Where exactly is he going to play? Now, if I haven't mentioned already, he has played for Scotland's youth teams. He's made 11 appearances, 10 for the under-21s, 1 for the under-18s. He's scored for both of the sides. And it's a difficult one, this one. It's really difficult to judge because I can't say I know a great deal about Josh Mulligan, but the fact that he's played often for Dundee in the Scottish Premier League shows that he does have something about him. Yes, he's 22. He's sort of at that age where he needs to sort of make a decision on his career. Is he going to stay in Scotland and sort of become sort of stuck like we've seen before, or is he going to sort of make that move over to England where he can potentially open up the door for much bigger and better transfers? And do I believe that there's quality there? Absolutely. I think that's the reason why he's linked with the likes of Rangers and Hearts, why he's potentially rumoured to have held talks with West Bromwich Albion. I think there's quite clearly some real good quality within his sort of arsenal. And I think for Derby, what the question really is where does he fit in the package? Now, we've spoke a few times this summer about Derby's right-back position. We know that Joe Ward could potentially be heading out. We know that Kane Wilson has signed a contract extension for this upcoming season, and there's conversations ongoing regarding a longer-term extension. Now, with Mendes Lang moving out, is Wilson going to be a right winger? Are we now looking to solidify that right-back slot with Ryan Niambi, Joe Ward and another? Are we going to see sort of like it's really difficult to sort of judge where we're going to end up because I don't really know how Eustace is sort of playing this in a formational standpoint, because if he stays with a 3-5-2, having Mulligan as a backup option to Wilson is brilliant, but Mulligan can also play in midfield. If we're playing a 4-2-3-1, you've then got the conversation about where's Wilson going to play? Where's Mulligan going to play? Where's Niambi, Ward? Where are they all going to fit in down that right-hand side? What other wingers are we looking at? Obviously, there's been a lot of reports and a lot of rumours discussing Tyrese Dolan as well as a player who could potentially join Derby County, obviously with his links to John Eustace, although nothing official has been sort of discussed or confirmed by any sort of local media sources, whether that be Blackburn or Derby yet. So it's sort of a very, very interesting dynamic that we find ourselves in when it comes to the likes of Josh Mulligan, when it comes to those sort of transfers and the players that we already have in the building. And obviously the important thing for Derby, for John Eustace, David Clowes, whoever the owner may be come the start of the season, is that Derby County have the best possible side available to them in order to be able to not just be competitive in the division and stay in the league, but also potentially push for that much higher quality of really sort of pushing for maybe even the playoffs by the end of this season. And I know playoffs is really pushing the boat out from where we've been this year, but if you look at the form under John Eustace in that sort of second half of the season, I think the last 13 games or whatever it was, Derby County were very much in and around sort of playoff contention, and that often happens at the end of a season with teams down in the relegation zone, with teams getting promoted sort of start to slump in form and stuff. There's obviously some teams that get done a lot earlier than others, and that's sort of what I'm looking at when I'm looking at these type of players. Do I think Mulligan has quality? Absolutely. Otherwise, he wouldn't have the interest he has. Do I believe he's what Derby County need? I think that really depends on the conversation regarding Kane Wilson and what other potential wingers we may bring into the club. Now, you can obviously have your say down in the comments. If you have not done so already, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell to stay tuned for all of my latest Derby County content. There was a video dropped yesterday evening about the potential new owner of Derby County. Obviously, nothing confirmed as of yet. Just want to preface, I am not a journalist. I just discuss my opinion based on reports that are ongoing from proper, reliable and informed sports journalists. So if you haven't done so already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. If you haven't done so already, join the Derby County Raffle. Do you want to win yourself the brand new Derby County 2025-26 home shirt? Well, I'm here to give you an opportunity to do that. There will be a link down in the description where you can head on over to raffle.com to join a raffle where you can win the Derby County home shirt. Ticket prices start at just £1 with a range of different discounts
discounts available. You can buy 2 tickets, get 2 free, 5 tickets, get 5 free, 10 tickets, get 10 free, and 15 tickets to get 15 free. The intention with this is to give you guys the opportunity to win a Derby County shirt for less than the valued cost in the shop. So if you haven't done so already, head on down to the description, click on the link in the description, which will take you over to raffle.com, create yourself an account, answer the question, and join this raffle. The winner will be announced on August 1st at 6 p.m. as the transfer window begins to draw to a close. So if you haven't done so already, head on over there and get your tickets.